The Baroque time period is an era in art history in which its paintings feature deep colors, dramatic light, dynamic movement, and were designed to create spectacle. Some of its most prominent artists included Nicolas Poussin, Diego Velázquez, Peter Paul Rubens, Caravaggio Bacchus, and Artemisia Gentileschi. Artemisia Gentileschi is the most celebrated and renowned female painter of the 17th century. Keyword female. She was able to use the dramatic aspects of the Baroque time period in a novel concept where she depicted female oppression, power, and pleasure. Susanna and the Elders is one of Gentileschi's earlier works. It depicts the 13th chapter of the Book of David. Susanna is a married Hebrew woman who's being leered at while bathing by these lustful elders. When Susanna refuses to have sex with them, she is put on trial for false claims. Eventually, Susanna receives justice. This painting is a heavy topic, but Gentileschi tastefully brings it to life using realism, tint, and occupation of space. The elders occupy the width of the painting and almost the entirety of the sky. This gives the viewer a feel of the overwhelming harassment Susanna faced. She is a beacon of light in contrast to the dull bathing area and the dark presence of the two elders, giving her a look of innocence. The contortion of Susanna's body paints her as the victim of this story. This was groundbreaking as female viewpoints were typically neglected in this time period. Sadly, just 1 year after this piece was completed, Gentileschi would be raped by her art tutor, Agostino Tassi. She would face a grueling 7-month trial in which she was tortured to prove that she was telling the truth. This experience, while catastrophic, fueled Gentileschi to continue to paint stories from the female perspective and to express the commonality of female oppression. Later in 1612, she painted the revolutionary Judith slaying Holofernes. An oil painting on canvas, it tells the story of Holofernes, a general of the Assyrian army who was stabbed in the neck with a sword by Judith, a young widow from Bethulia who saved her people from attack. The detail of Holofernes ties into Baroque artwork. His asymmetrical head places a jarring image for viewers, and the contrast of the bright red blood versus the white sheets create a dramatic atmosphere. In the original painting, Gentileschi painted the other woman in a red gown and used tenebrism, which is the darkening of a painting with minimal highlights. However, in the second rendition, seen above, she only uses red to cover Holofernes and to depict the blood which brings the viewer's eyes to him. And instead of tenebrism, she uses chiaroscuro, which is the use of a dark setting to create a dramatic atmosphere, and a lighter subject for a bold contrast. I believe she made this switch because instead of painting this as a sad event, she wanted to depict the determination and strength of a female heroine and the freeness that comes from a woman's emancipation. It is suggested that the portrait of Holofernes is modeled after Gentileschi's rapist, Agostino Tassi, and Judith is a self-portrait of Gentileschi. This would give Gentileschi power over her male oppressor and reclamation of her body. The painting depicts Judith as a hero rather than Holofernes as a victim, again providing a feminine viewpoint. This scene begged the question, what if women got together and fought back in this patriarchal society? A concept that, until this point, had not been explored in the world of artwork. As renowned as her artwork is today, Gentileschi lived a life of little pay, gender discrimination, and was almost erased in art history after her death. Only after rediscovering her in the 1970s were art historians able to assess the power of Gentileschi's artwork. She was able to share the grueling experience that is womanhood and uplifted female power against male oppression through the male dominated space of art. These views were novel at the time, but are increasingly relevant today with the Me Too movement, the Pussy Hat Project, and the fight for reproductive rights in America. I hope we can all take away the courage, creativity, and passion Artemisia Gentileschi exemplified and explore modern society through a new, novel, fresh perspective.